All right, boys, here we are, game two. There's a lot of white light coming in, but that's okay. So, Rangers game two at the Maple Leafs. Maple Leafs home opener. Um, Henrik got chased, and he let in 5 goals in the first period. I thought they should have pulled him after definitely the fourth, maybe the third. Um, Not all of them were his fault. Like that turnover for goal number 2 by D'Angelo was really bad, really egregious. I'm actually surprised he even played the rest of the game, considering AV is our coach. But yeah, things look like things looked okay after the Leafs' first goal, which was like a tip in after they just had the puck in the zone forever. JT tied it up. That was good. But then JT was really bad on one of the other goals. I don't remember if it was the second or the third. There's just like one goal where he just he looked like he had a disconnected controller or something. It was so bad. But anyway, the Rangers rally and they wind up tying the game at 5 in the second period. They played fantastic in the second period. Mark Stahl had 2 points, which is like probably as much as he'll get all year. But that's not necessarily too fair because I thought Stahl was actually pretty good in the first game as well. He laid that big hit on I think Landeskog, but yeah. So Zuccarello had a 4-point night. Zook's always good against the Leafs. The Leafs look really good, man. Like they look really good. Mitchell Marner looks really good. Nylander was that backhanded goal by Nylander. Oh my God! I think that was the 6th goal. And at the start of the third, it was 5-5 game, and it was whoever scored next was going to win. I thought the refs actually kind of like stepped a little bit too much into that game. Like it seemed like the game was pretty close, and then the refs just started calling a bunch of bullshit, and it just so happens that it was all against the Rangers. That Hayes slashing penalty was such a weak call. I mean, I don't know why the hell they challenged the offside in the first place. Shouldn't have done it. Like it was a good goal. They knew that Marner had the puck on him, and I guess the argument of possession was what Micheletti was talking about. It didn't seem like the refs really gave a shit about that. They didn't take that into consideration at all. So I wouldn't be too worried about that. The new coach's challenge, you lose the challenge and you take a penalty. And that was it, man. That was the game. That 7th goal, and then they took more penalties, and I thought it was kind of it seemed like a sour way to end that game. Like that game was a pretty cool game. Like good for the Rangers for showing up in the second period and playing 23 minutes of hockey. Like end of the first and the entire second, they played really well. Shattenkirk looks really good. I said in the last video that I don't see Shattenkirk putting up 25 points, but he has 3 points in 2 games on the power play. I thought 25 points on the power play was like not going to happen, but Rangers power play right now is their only asset at this point. Their defense looked horrible. Brendan Smith looked really, really bad. I still don't understand. Like if I was always talking about this, why they signed him for $4.5 million. What has Brendan Smith ever proven to deserve $4.5 million? I don't get that at all. He's good, don't get me wrong, but I don't even think he's played a full season yet. He's not putting up points. He puts up points like Dan Girardi put up points, and Dan Girardi put up like 20 points on a good year. So I don't get that. $4.5 million is like, man, I thought like 2.75, maybe 3 something, but like 4.5, man. Like you pay McDonough 4.7, and obviously that was when he was a lot younger, but everyone knew what he was going to be. He's a good defenseman, but hopefully Smith rebounds. I really would not be surprised to see Holden be put in the lineup sooner than later. I'm making this video at 4 o'clock on Sunday that's 2.5 hours before the Montreal game. I haven't checked, but I wouldn't be surprised if Holden starts tonight. Probably in place of D'Angelo, but you never know. And the other thing is, I thought in that game, why not play Keedle It's not like Ketel. Let's see, how much of a minus was Ketel? So Ketel's only a -1 in 5 minutes of ice time, and like I get it, he was a -1, but like you have 9 games to evaluate this kid. Like when you're down 5-1, why the hell is he like? There's no reason he should be sitting when you're down 5-1. Like this is the perfect game to just be like, fuck it, let's evaluate. Like give him all the opportunity in the world. Instead, they benched him, and they played like Paul Carey like 15 minutes, and they were good. Like I thought they were good, but there's just some things about this team that are a little weird. Like VZ getting power play time is weird. Like Ketel not getting any power play time is a little weird. I thought Zibanejad, Vucevic, Kreider line, like, what a surprise. The best line that we had, great chemistry, the best line that we had at the beginning of last year was good again this year. It's almost like maybe we should have played that line in the playoffs instead of just 2 games. But then again, Alain Vigneault is our coach. I don't hate AV. I think he's a pretty good coach. And the Rangers are starting off slow. That's, 2 losses to begin the year. The Colorado loss is really bad. This one was like kind of expected, home opener for the Leafs. Leafs are like, they're having a party, man. I love that team. It's hard to hate the Leafs. Like they were so bad for so long, and the kids are just good, and they're doing it all without Austin Matthews for the most part. So that's pretty impressive. But anyway, tonight in Montreal, we'll see how they do. Rangers wound up losing 5-8. It was bad. Henrik Lundqvist got chased. If Hank doesn't put in a good effort tonight, his confidence is really low. I was worried about this. I was worried about him having a bad start. He always starts slow, but like this, if there was any year where he really needed to have some like safety, some assurance, a little bit of consistency, this was the year. And it's a bad start for Henrik. But you know what? Henrik's a notoriously slow starter. I know he'll push through it. I mean, he's a good goalie still. Like Pavlich obviously looked better than Henrik Lundqvist, and that's not reality, right? So that's a bad game. These guys have bad games. He did just win gold for his country, and back in the spring after the playoffs. So it's not like Henrik is like washed up and like, in 6 months went from being a gold medalist to trash, worse than Pavlik. So I wouldn't be worried about Henrik just yet. And the other thing is like, yeah, I know 2 starts pretty bad, but like, 2014 we won 2 games out of the first like 10. I think we won like 2-9 or something, 2-7. And those losses were bad. That was like the San Jose loss that ended Marty Biron's career, the Thomas Hertl like 4 or 5 goal game. Yeah, guys, I'm not worried yet. Maybe we should be, but this is game 2, and yeah, Rangers lost again, but we got another game tonight. So here's hoping that they win. Let's go Rangers.